coffee people. Today I have another coffee/tea review for you today. Somebody reached out to me on Facebook, I guess one of my fans, and wanted me to try/know about a new Kickstarter campaign that their friend put together for a product that is called Green Alert, and I have a couple samples right here. What it is basically a combo of coffee and green tea. And the idea behind it is that while they both have caffeine, that being the green tea and the coffee, the green tea also has an ingredient in it, and let me see if I can pronounce this correctly here, but L-theanine. So that is supposed to have a calming effect that should neutralize the jittery effect of caffeine, or at least that's the idea behind it. So also, this is made with organic ingredients, so the argument they're making here is that it's a healthy alternative to, say, a drink like Red Bull or another energy drink that has those ingredients, caffeine and L-theanine. So I hope I pronounced that correctly. And what it comes in is the Primal, which I guess is the original flavor, and that is jade green tea and dark roast Sumatran coffee made with organic fair trade ingredients. And then they also have this Refresh blend right here, and that is Moroccan mint tea and dark roast Ethiopian coffee made with organic fair trade ingredients. So just based off the description, sounds really good. I'm gonna brew the Primal first today, and they recommend using French press or pour over. So in this case, I actually have the best of both worlds. I have this Bonavita immersion dripper here, which I'm gonna, which I can basically steep the coffee with, which they also recommend doing. So give it 3 to 4 minutes, they say, and 3 tablespoons of the blend for 12 ounces of water. So that should yield a pretty strong cup, and I'm just going to go ahead and pre-soak my filter, and then I'll be right back and show you what I'm doing. Alright, so once again, Primal is what's going to be going in. This is pre-ground, so that's kind of has me a little bit hesitant in terms of what the freshness is going to be, but I won't count it out just yet. So there's 1 tablespoon, and this looks like it's ground pretty coarsely. So I think they prefer to brew this with French press, and that's the reason why. And here, so you can just get a little close-up look. You can see the green tea in there, kind of interspersed. So, cool concept for sure. And I wonder why they don't have a whole bean form, because I think you could technically just mix that with green tea as well and end up with more of a fresh blend. But anyway, I'm not gonna dwell on that. So I'm just gonna get my water temperature up to 200, and then I'm gonna steep this for 3 to 4 minutes, give it a little stir, and then I will just dispense it. So little thing about this coffee maker is that this lever closes the bottom with that stopper there, and so that will allow me to steep. So it's kind of like a hybrid pour over French press. I am using a paper filter though, so you're not going to get the coffee oils that you would with a French press, but can't be perfect here. Oh, so before I do that, 12 ounces of water. Almost forgot. So I'm just gonna weigh this out, make sure that I have 12 ounces. Smells pretty good. Okay, so I'm not gonna bore you with this part, so I'll come back with the final yield and the taste. Alright, I finished pouring, steeping with this cover here. Timer is on for 3 to 4 minutes on my kettle base right there. You can see it counting. Okay, so I've given it 3.5 minutes, and I'm just gonna switch the lever. Now you can hear the coffee dispensing. Be back with the taste. So the aroma is interesting. Definitely more green tea than coffee, but it is a nice balance. I think they've done a nice job rationing out the green tea and the coffee, because I do smell both. Well, it tastes like a cup of green tea for sure, but it has that dark roast kick in there too. So just like I said with the aroma, it is a good balance. The aftertaste isn't my favorite. It's a little bit bitter. I think, you know, dark roast coffee and then on top of that green tea, they're not supposed to be sweet. I mean, when you have dark roast beans, that's gonna get you the most bitter yield in general with coffee. Same thing with green tea. It tends to be bitter by itself, from my experience at least, but it's not unpleasant. It's just not my favorite. I think if they used possibly a lighter roast, I'd really be interested to know how that tastes, because as far as I can tell, yeah, both blends are only dark roast, so it's going to be a matter of preference here for you. If you're already accustomed to dark roasts, you may like this a lot. And maybe if you can't decide whether to drink green tea or coffee, hey, you've got a solution here. Of course, you could buy your own green tea, and you could buy your own coffee, and just grind those two together. I don't see why that isn't possible. But if you don't want to have to do that work, then of course Green Alert might be your solution. And I will brew the other one, Refresh, let you know what I think about that. I'm going to brew it in my cold brewer, so I'll do a slow drip cold brew. But this is decent. I don't know if I would necessarily go out of my way to buy it, because I'm not a big tea drinker, but like I said, for those who do drink tea and may not want a full cup of coffee and the jitters that are associated with it, just the caffeine, I think this is an interesting product for sure. Very interesting concept, but I would like to see different roasts. I would like to see a whole bean option, and aside from that, like, those are my two biggest complaints, I'd say. Otherwise, yeah, I think this is worth a try, for sure. So, I'll be back with the cold brew review. That is of the Refresh. This is the Primal that I just tried right here. Thanks.